Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins linear-bounded Phenogram. I'm G, and we are following Suzuha's storyline this time around, in which she has awoken to, well, not awoken per se, but kind of metaphysically awoken to two copies of herself, one named Beta, one of them named Omega. One of them is from the World War III attractor field. The other one, we don't know, but she's a cat girl. Anyways, so Beta is currently fixing the time machine, and Omega has revealed that Daru is Suzuha's dad, and now they are shopping for bits. So, let's get started. I finally found my dad, but now I don't even know what to say. The two of us both end up heading out to buy the replacement parts. Well, I guess since Omega's here, it's the three of us. Sorry about all this, Hashidai Taru. You know, tagging along and everything.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints going with you, Amaishi. I just don't like getting ordered around by Okarin. Oh, this is it. Excuse me. Three of those over there.
Hashidai Taru was always just the guy sitting in the lab chair to me, constantly fiddling with his computer. But seeing him outdoors is enough to make me feel strange. Dad's clothes are kind of lame, but he's also sort of cool. What? Really? I didn't think much of him when he was chatting with Uncle Okarin earlier, but now he seems so alive, even though he's fat. You're right. He must be pretty used to buying things at parts shops. He doesn't need to pause whatsoever, he just goes for exactly what he needs with extreme precision. I guess you could call that cool.
What's up?
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all.
You've been saying that a lot today, Amaishi.
I guess.
Oh, that's right. One of the ghost heads is with us, too. What sort of ghost is she?
A maid that's pretty strict about fashion, apparently.
You have a maid ghost following you around? Damn, I'm jealous. I want one for myself. A maid ghost head would probably scold me non-stop, though.
He's actually pretty fond of you. What? Nope, that's not Suzuha.
What? Seriously? Pardon me. Must be the hat, right?
Not even close. Yellow doesn't suit your physique whatsoever.
What's she saying?
Let's say Tina Mayuri. Okay, gotta change modes to get the Mayuri voice. Despite Suzuha-san, maybe she will find your dad. Okarin promised too. I made the flyers yesterday. I'm making lots of copies now. Let's wait a little longer. You really didn't have to.
What's she saying?
It's not the outside that makes the man.
Is that a compliment?
I think so.
Yeah, that's good. Anyway, that's everything on Ghost 1001's list.
Alrighty.
There wasn't much on here, and I got everything at my favorite shop. Once we get this stuff back to Radicon, it's mission complete. Flawless victory. Actually, the biggest challenge is going to be that staircase.
I can bring it up there for you. I know climbing stairs is pretty tough for someone as out of shape as you are.
Not wrong, but I feel like I should probably familiarize myself with the time machine some more. I'll take it up and get to work with Ghost Time. You should go to your part-time gig or look for your dad or something. Whatever you gotta do.
I find myself at a loss for words when Hashidai Taru mentions my dad.
I hope you can find him before you leave.
About that, I need to apologize to Tina Mayuri and Okabe Rintaro.
Huh? Why?
Because I actually found Dad.
What? Really? When?
You know how I told you about how the ghosts are versions of me from different worlds, right?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like my dad's alive and well in these different worlds. The ghosts know his name and face.
Oh, I see. I'll let the others know.
Okay.
How about you go meet him now? What's his name? Do I know him?
My dad's name is Hashidai Taru.
Hashidai Taru. I feel like I hear that name a lot. If anything, I'm kind of tired of hearing it. Wait, isn't that me?
Yep, apparently.
What's that supposed to mean?
Hashidai Taru is suddenly very confused. I don't blame him. I was shocked when I heard it from Omega, and I still can't fully believe it now. I guess from your perspective, I'm your future daughter?
Wait. Manishi is my daughter in the future?
He's so confused that he's just repeating what I said. That's right. He's not wrong, but it looks like Hashidai Taru is not even sure what he just asked. He's talking without actually thinking.
So you're saying I'm your dad?
Yep.
Oh, I get it. I don't get it.
You don't get it?
Well, I get it, but hold on a sec.
Ashida Itaru then goes completely silent. His facial expression is frozen. I have no idea what he's thinking right now. Would it have been better not to know? My anxiety caused me to blurt it out. I was as shocked as he is when I first found out. But I understand full well that it's hard to find the right words. Are you upset that I'm your daughter? But even then, having him say nothing is just too scary. He's my dad. I finally get to see my dad. Well, I guess he's not actually my dad yet. Anyway, I just really want Ashida Itaru to say something.
Sorry, I have no idea how I'm supposed to react to this.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I should be more serious, right?
Yeah?
I'm surprised, but I'm not upset or anything like that. Hell, if anything, finding out that my future daughter is such a cutie is a huge win for me.
He doesn't look all that happy. Though maybe it's the confusion taking over right now.
Anyway, can I ask you one question? Is your mom cute? Is she like a short lolly with big boobs?
That's a secret.
Secret, huh? Well, I guess I should be happy just knowing that I have a wife in the future.
Yeah, I think you can look forward to that.
Well, now you've got me excited.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I'm gonna head back to Redicon.
Alright, be careful. Now watch Ashida Itaru, Dad, as he goes off in the distance. His back has never looked larger to me than it does now. Yo!
Part-timer, where'd you wander off to this time?
But when I get back to work, I find myself on the other end of the boss man's rage.
Ashida Itaru. Hey, it's your papa, or father, dad? We traded addresses, so I figured I'd send you this message. Best regards. What should I call you anyway?
Trade addresses. This is just a test reply. Did you get it? This is kind of embarrassing. Call you. Feel free to call me whatever you like. I don't mind. Yeah, let's do that one. Get to the point. Nyum. I'm sorry.
Gee, it's almost time to make today's deliveries.
I said I'm sorry.
But you know, you're looking more lively today than usual.
Ah, well, something I was worried about kind of got fixed.
You mean that ghosting effect problem of yours?
Huh? Oh, not that one. Only Omega is with me right now. Beta is back at the time machine.
See, well, if you're in high spirits, I guess I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah. I figured the boss man was going to be a lot angrier, but I guess he was actually pretty worried about me. I didn't think he'd still be thinking about the whole ghosting thing. Hey, boss man, why are you so worried about me?
Say what? Don't be worried about some brat like... You? Is what I'd like to say. I guess I am.
How come? I'm just some random part-timer, right? I don't even know if you've ever had other part-timers here.
Just, when I look at you, you don't feel like a stranger to me.
Do I look like someone you know?
You're way younger. I guess I see in you someone who took good care of me when I was a kid.
What? Are you comparing me to old lady?
Don't be rude, she was a fine woman.
And does that mean you're saying I'm a fine woman too?
I take it all back. You don't actually resemble her that much.
You're a big jerk.
Anyhow, she was someone I really respected. Part of the reason why I rented the second floor to Okabe and the others is because she told me to encourage young people to grow and be strong. Just like how she encouraged me when I was younger.
Huh, I guess you could say what goes around comes around.
Damn straight. She'd be grateful too. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here now, and you sure as hell wouldn't have a job.
You got a point. So what's her name?
She went by the name Suzu-san. Now that I think about it, the two of you got similar names, eh?
Yeah, that's what she in my area always calls me. Is that her surname?
Nope, her name was Hashida. Hashida Suzu. Ring any bells?
I can't help but gasp. There's no way this is just a coincidence. I can tell that Omega feels the same way. She looks at me in shock. Could that maybe be my grandma? I don't think so. I replied to Omega, but the boss man thinks it was directed towards him.
No? Well, I figured as much.
I wasn't actually, but no, it doesn't ring any bells. Ashida and Suzu. Up until yesterday, I wouldn't have even noticed. But now I know. Ashida Suzu is me. I ended up using the time machine to travel into the past and ultimately live in this world line.
In other words, the time machine will be fixed. Hey boss man, what's this Hashida Suzu-san up to nowadays? I ask out of curiosity. While this might be the story of the past for him, this is my future. I should have never asked.
She died.
I shouldn't know this. The boss man's brief answer makes it that much more powerful. She died?
He was still too damn young.
I see. If Hashida Suzu really was me after going back to 1975, I'd still only be a bit past 50 if I was still alive right now. There'd be nothing strange about being happy and healthy at that age. Which means the reason she's dead is... What did... Can't do it. Can't ask. Too scared to ask.
If she was still alive, I'd have introduced her to Okabe and the rest of those knuckleheads. It's thanks to her that you're able to do all that dumb stuff you do. You two would have probably gotten along, because the son was always riding a bike similar to yours. Took damn good care of it, too.
That's probably... It's not just a similar bike. It's probably the exact same one. I stop myself before I vocalize any of this. I can't tell him the truth.
What is it?
I think you're right, boss man. I would have liked to meet her. Using a time machine to return to the past and meet yourself is extremely dangerous. I can never afford to risk it. I still wish Hashida Suzu had lived into this era. This means that when I return to the past, I'll never again see Okabe Rintaro or the others. The past has already been decided. Even if I try to change it, the world line convergence means it's impossible. In this world, Hashida Suzu will always already be dead.
Anyway, there you have it. Once you're older and got your shit together, you should encourage future youngsters too.
Yeah, what goes around comes around after all. I said this earlier without realizing it, but it's true. The boss man helped me, and then I helped him after going into the past. A mysterious thread of fate that connects the two of us.
Yup. Anyhow, I gotta get going. Keep watch while I'm out.
You got it! He departs. I keep a lookout as told, but there are no customers. Same old, same old. I doubt anyone's gonna come by. I try talking to Omega in order to fight off my boredom. Omega seems to like the store quite a bit. As usual, she's wandering around, poking and examining anything that catches her interest. Keeping watch means you gotta stay put, right? That's just part of the job. Well, sure, but... Omega's response is unexpectedly level-headed. In all honesty, considering how few customers this place gets, it's a minor miracle that's still in business. Maybe this boss man is running some sort of side gig. What if he's actually super duper rich and this shop is just his hobby? Oh mate, Suzuha, have you ever worked before? I just can't get used to calling someone else by my own name. Yep, just regular jobs. How do you define regular? You know, normal, like at McD's. McD's. Wait, are you talking about the hamburger joint? You were welcoming people in and taking orders? What's so strange about that? It's not strange, it's just... Even aside from Omega's story, it feels really weird imagining someone with the same face as yourself talking about what they do. That was a choice that I never had in my life. The look on your face screams, strange. Omega shoots straight, unsurprisingly. That's not it. It's not about you, honest. Then who is it about? It just felt weird imagining myself doing that kind of work. Judging by the expression Omega makes, she thinks I'm a weirdo. Yeah, you're right. You got a lot of nerve. Omega doesn't hide behind her words. She just says whatever comes to mind. I guess that's who Omega is. In the end, the Brown Tube Workshop closes up for the day without a single customer dropping by. Alright, boss man. Catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, be careful on the way home.
I consider dropping by Radicon to see Beta, but an unexpected person calls out to me. Amane-san, are you headed home? I can say Kurisu. I instinctively glare at her. In the future, she's the woman who builds a time machine for CERN. But simply, she's the time machine mother who triggers our dystopia. I can't even count how many times me and my friends in the Resistance spoke about her. If only she never built that time machine. Again? Seriously, I just wanted to congratulate you. Jeez. Or what? Your time machine's getting fixed, right? Oh yeah. And I heard you found your dad, too. Yeah. The mention of dad is enough to calm my nerves. If you did that on purpose, that'd make her quite the manipulator. Congratulations, although quite frankly, it's kind of hard to say that with a straight face considering he's, well, Hashida. Thanks. Here, this isn't much, but... Kurisu takes a small cake out from the convenience store bag she's holding. It's a single serving of strawberry shortcake. You're giving this to me? I hope you like it. As long as you didn't bake it yourself. Her apple pie from the other day was so bad that it actively made me angry. I remember asking her if she was trying to kill us. I figured you'd say something like that, hence the store-bought cake. Kurisu sulks a little, but doesn't seem very angry.
Okabe Rintaro. It's me. I heard about your father from Daru. I'm glad to hear it all worked out. How about spending some time with your old man tonight, just the two of you? Father?
Thanks, I never thought he'd be Hashidai Taru, though I'm sure if I actually gave myself time to think about it, I might have realized that this was always a possibility. It's just, in my memories he's a lot thinner, lol. You're right, but still a little embarrassing.
You know, yeah. Let's hang out with Daru.
It's all kind of weird. Why are you congratulating me? Well, you were searching for your dad and you found him. That's it. End of story. I've only ever shown you hostility. True enough. But you know, my dad and I aren't exactly on great terms. So hearing that you were able to meet yours made me a little happy. Kurisu's dad. So I guess I'm not technically congratulating you, I'm just sharing in the happiness. Maybe please as punch if maybe this helps soften your attitude toward me even just a little bit. In that case, I'll gladly accept your peace offering. I take the cake from her hands. At this point, I'm no longer glaring at her. In fact, I'm smiling. I hope you're able to make up with your dad too. Thanks. Now I find myself wondering why she's still holding the convenience store bag. I don't think she just went to buy me a cake. Are you staying overnight at the lab? I want to get the device I'm working on to a certain point before I head home. Then can I stay over too? I promise I won't get in the way. Kurisu makes a strange face in response to my request. I don't blame her, even though I think it's kind of weird. Sure, I don't mind. But Kurisu doesn't say no. I can't put my finger on why, but maybe it has something to do with Dad. At night, Kurisu tells me all about her ambivalence towards time machines. Apparently, when she first came to the lab, she was hostile to the very idea of them. But here she is now, trying to create humanity's first time machine. My father, well, he was researching time travel. And because of that, he got expelled from academic circles. Kurisu continues her skillful work, all the while speaking aloud. Yeah, I guess time machines are still just fictional things in this era. Proper academics don't talk about time machines at conferences, you know? So you're saying your dad wasn't a proper academic? He was when I was still little. Kurisu's hands stop in place, and I immediately feel as though I've said something I shouldn't have. But it's my fault that he's the way he is now. How so? I always adored my father's academic stories. Naturally, I didn't get all of it at the time. That's why I started studying. I wanted him to tell me more. I figured that if I understood his stories better, he'd be able to talk to me more. Instead, it turned out to be the opposite. Not only could I understand his stories better, I could also pick out the flaws in them. I tried to correct them. I believe that's what science was. But all I ended up doing was hurting my father's pride. How can I blame him? Scholars are ultimately just human beings. Having your mistakes pointed out by an elementary school child would be humiliating to plenty of people. I didn't realize that was the cause at the time, so I just kept doing it. Eventually, my father stopped doing proper research in fields with a lot of competition. He fled to research that couldn't be refuted by anyone. And that's why he started looking into time machines. That's part of the reason why I refused to do research on them myself. I thought that it'd be impossible for me. Not because of the time machines themselves either. I was just trying to escape from my sense of guilt. You sound a lot like your dad. On hearing my words, Kurisu glares at me, a surprised look on her face. I said something I shouldn't have again. Like him? How? Well, I've never met him, but it sounds like you're both serious about your work and also really naive. Is that a negative word? I don't mean that you're neurotic or anything, just sensitive, I guess? Maybe. Regardless of the reason, you're both interested in time machines. I bet you both find the idea of leaping across time adventurous. Scientists caring about adventure, huh? I personally think scientists are very adventurous. They seek the truth that nobody's discovered yet. What's that if not adventure? My dad in the future, the dad who entrusted the time machine to me. He was an adventurer too, that's why I believe. You're right. Kurisu appears to have calmed down a bit. The evidence being that she's resumed her work. Once again, I'm struck by how similar to her dad she seems. Always trying to be correct hurts the people around you. That might not be a good thing, but I think it's probably an unavoidable part of who she is. Still, I'm surprised your dad's researching time machines. Got a problem with that? Nope, the opposite. I feel a kind of kinship with you. I'm not lying. My father's so immersed in time machine research that he distanced himself from his daughter. That's the story of my life, too. Kinship, huh? Yep, kinship. We both lead lives held prisoner by time machines. Our fathers are the source of that. You know, the two of us might be more similar than I thought. That's the highest praise I can give to someone who up until now I had viewed as a sworn enemy. Makise Kurisu's expression is anything but happy. Just to make sure, you aren't saying that because I'm your mom or something, right? Just thinking about the possibility gives me chills. That's definitely not what I expected her to say. No way, you're not my mom. Her surname is Amane. Thank goodness. I don't think I've ever seen Makise Kurisu look so relieved. Is she that happy that she's not my mom? Jeez, that seems kind of rude. Speaking of moms, in fact, it's so rude that some of my hostility towards Makise Kurisu bubbles to the surface again. In the future where I'm from, you're referred to as the Time Machine Mother. Me? I guess that's appropriate. When I finish this device, it'll be the world's first time machine. If only that was the only reason. The time machine tech that you and the others create eventually gets monopolized by CERN, and as a result, the world becomes a dystopia with no conflict. In my future, every facet of human life is strictly controlled and monitored. Every conflict is prevented before it happens by using a time machine. And you're the one that built it, Makise Kurisu. I get it now. That's why you, the warrior seeking to bring peace back into the world, see me as your greatest enemy. You're unexpectedly calm about this. I was always curious as to why you hate me so much. But if the reason is something that happens in the future, I guess there's not much I can do about it now. For you, it's the past, but for me, it's something I haven't even done yet, right? I can certainly see how things end up that way. Here I am, building a time machine. Once it's complete, I'll be qualified to be called the Time Machine Mother. I don't know much about CERN, but I do know that they're conducting human experiments. If they know we complete our machine first, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if they came here to try to take it by force. And if they did, you become a pawn of CERN just to continue your research? That's the part that I just don't get. Makise Kurisu stops working and turns to me. But she isn't glaring this time. In fact, she's smiling. Even under threat of death, I would never ever cooperate with CERN. But considering what you've seen in the future, it sounds like I built the time machine that CERN uses to control the world. I cooperated with them. What caused this contradiction? I've never actually thought about that before. I only ever knew Makise Kurisu's personal history. I'd never spoken to her in the future. I tried to assassinate her and failed, that's it. But speaking to Makise Kurisu here in the now, just doesn't seem like the kind of person who would ever go along with CERN, even if it meant being killed. So why did she? What happened? She did join the Resistance and built your time machine, right? What about Okabe? Okabe Rintaro was one of the founding members of the Resistance. So you're telling me I become the enemy of the Future Gadget Laboratory? That's right. If Okabe and Hashida are in the Resistance, is Mayuri too? I never heard anything about Mayuri Shina. She wasn't in the Resistance and she wasn't a CERN collaborator. How could she be? She's going to die in a few days. At the hands of the Rounders sent by CERN, no less. But that's something I only learned after coming to this era. I'm even more confused now. Why would I cooperate with CERN? What could drive me to go against Okabe and Hashida? Why do things turn out like that? Makise Kurisu can't seem to wrap her mind around future events, but I feel like I'm starting to see how all the pieces eventually come together. Makise Kurisu wanted to save Shina Mayuri, no matter what it took. But the world-line convergence would never allow such a thing. The time-link machine cannot save Shina Mayuri. There's only one way to save her. The entire world must be changed. Not in the current world line either. By crossing the attractor field and moving to a world line that contains other possibilities. But in order to do that, a time machine and the IBM 5100 are both necessary to make it happen. This process requires a time machine that can go back years, not just several days. Makise Kurisu wanted to save Shina Mayuri, no matter what. No matter the cost. That's why she chose to become the enemy of the entire world. Makise Kurisu chose Shina Mayuri over her own beliefs, over everyone and everything. That's right, everything she did to save a single person, Shina Mayuri. Even if it meant having to live apart from her closest friends and her allies, she tried to save that one young girl, alone. It's entirely possible that Makise Kurisu, Okabe Rintaro, and my dad, they were all aiming for the same thing. So that's how it is. What? Did you figure it out? Yeah, but I can't tell you now. Not just because it's about the future. Because Okabe Rintaro hasn't told her yet. He should be the one to tell her about Shina Mayuri's death. I'm dying of curiosity, but since it's about the future, I guess I should be patient. Makise Kurisu backs down without argument. I suppose if you look at it another way, that's probably because she's convinced that she'd never give in to CERN's threats. You're pretty amazing, Makise Kurisu. Well, that came out of nowhere. I'd never be able to do what you did. I'm so sorry for assuming you were some evil villain, for always glaring at you. But I have the determination, the willpower to go that far. I got to where I am now because I believed I'd be changing the world for the better. I traveled to the past thinking that it was for the sake of my world. But Makise Kurisu was different. For the sake of that one girl, Shina Mayuri, she became the enemy of the world and the future itself. Which directly led to my hatred toward her. I even tried to assassinate her. Well, I can't say I enjoyed the open hostility, but you don't need to apologize. But I want to. Then be my guest. Oh, and I don't know what sort of conclusion you came to, but it's possible that maybe you're overestimating me. I can't deny that, but... like Okabe's always saying, I might just be a woman who can't stop experimenting. Well, sure. But even I can tell that Makise Kurisu is the kind of person who would deeply regret her actions if they ever led to the death of someone she cared about. I might have joined CERN just because I wanted to build a time machine. We can talk about beliefs and morals all day long, but the reality is that research costs money. It requires capable subordinates. Oh, I gotta say, the Time Machine Mother? What kind of Chunibyo name is that? Did Okabe come up with it? She's also good-humored enough to laugh at herself. I think that's about enough of this dark topic. Instead, I listened to her with a smile. That's right. I still think that this is the right way of looking at it. You're a good person, Makise Kurisu. Seemingly embarrassed, she averts her eyes. After finally getting to know her, I can't help but think that it's a fitting reaction. First you think I'm the ultimate evil, now I'm a good person? Not a fan? I guess I'll take that over being glared at all the time. The two of us continued to chat the night away until we fell asleep. If you'd asked me if I had ever thought this could happen prior to my coming to the Zera, I would have called you crazy. Casual chat with Makise Kurisu of all people. When I wake up in the morning, I have a message waiting for me from Hashida Itaru. Actually, it's from Beta. Apparently the repairs are going well and should be finished sometime this morning. After I part with Makise Kurisu at the lab, I head to Radikan. Yo-ho! Sorry, but keep it down. I get scolded right off the bat. I didn't think I was being all that loud, but then I get the hint once I look at where Beta is pointing. Dad's still asleep. There are papers scattered all around him. Given that there's writing all over them, they're neither trash nor some sort of makeshift blanket. It's not exactly cold out either. Dad went to sleep at around dawn. I see, so he was doing repairs the whole time? Well, not quite. Eh? The repairs themselves didn't take too long, but Dad wanted to know all sorts of things about the time machine. So I answered all of his questions by writing on the paper you see there. That explains the mess around him. Anyway, Alpha. What's up? The other me has something of a gloomy expression on her face. There's something I need to apologize to you about. Apologize? Did the repairs go south? No, the time machine should be fine, although it doesn't have the spare energy for an operation check, so I can't say for sure. Then why the apology? Dad figured out its secret. Secret? Someone in this era, everything concerning the time machine could be considered a secret. By considering the look on Beta's face, I get the feeling that he figured out the one thing I wanted to keep him from finding out. That this time machine can only go to the past. Oh. He promised he wouldn't tell the others, but... yeah. But the one person I didn't want to find out was Dad. I guess there's no point in that, huh? Yeah. I suppose the silver lining is that the others don't know. But that doesn't change the fact that he knows. Him of all people. Looks like we don't have time to discuss this any further. Dad wakes up at the sound of my voice.
Suzuha, you here?
Did you just call me? Dad slowly raises his giant body from the floor.
Yeah, I was talking to Ghost 10, and she said you'd be happier if I did.
Yeah, I guess.
So that means you need to call me Papa, got it?
Papa? That's a little embarrassing. And if I call you Dad instead?
Sure, I'm cool with that.
Anyway, sorry for waking you up after you only just got to sleep, Dad. I heard you worked through most of the night.
Nah, Ghost Town number 01 did most of the hard work.
That's not true. The other me said you helped out a bunch, right? That's right. Mind telling him for me? She says that's right.
For real? I'm happy to hear that. But honestly, all I did was talk a whole bunch. Plus, I could barely understand what she was talking about.
That's not your fault. You might have built this thing, but that's way in the future.
Sure, but
What's up?
isn't it kind of weird? Like, where did this time machine even come from?
From the future, the year 2036.
No, that's not what I meant. Where did the technology for this time machine come from?
Huh? What do you mean?
You said that I completed this time machine in the future based on the phone wave tech, but isn't that only because I helped repair the time machine here in this time? That means I didn't invent a time machine in the future, I only recreated the one I saw here. Now, wouldn't that imply that there had to be a time machine in the future that I based this one off of first? So who completed that first one? Thinking about it kept me up all night. But I guess it's a weird thing to hear from someone who was literally just asleep.
You're right. It seems like a closed loop. Simply using a time machine shouldn't cause visible changes to a world line. In other words, Dad originally repaired the time machine at this point in 2010, and by doing so he was able to see how the machine worked, helping him to complete his prototype in 2036. But considering how visibly I've been operating, not to mention the spot where the time machine materialized, it's possible the world line has been shifted. My dad and I can't perceive that shift, though.
Maybe the contradiction exists because there's a different world line? Did I complete the time machine in a world line where no time machine ever showed up?
I have no clue. You never said anything about that to me.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You never met me in the future, right?
Yeah, you were in hiding from CERN. Hence why I didn't recognize him. If it weren't for my two ghosts, I never would have realized he was right there in front of me the whole time.
I'm sorry, Suzaha.
Eh?
I know it's something future me did, but it sounds like I failed you as a dad. I might have had few options in a world controlled by CERN. No parent should ever abandon their daughter in the name of research, you know?
Don't apologize. I've never resented you for how things went down, Dad. Hell, if anything, I respected you. You left us with hope, the ability to change the world. I'm proud of that. These are my honest feelings. It's not like I didn't wish I had a kind dad or anything. That was never realistic in the world I'm from. Don't apologize, Dad. You made the right choice. If he hadn't distanced himself from me, he would have eventually been found by CERN, and any chance we had to change the past would have been lost forever. Dad did what should have been done. He did what had to be done. That's why I've always thought of my dad as a stranger, a stronger, more rational person. A great man who threw away his own life in order to change the future.
Suzaha.
The dad in front of me right now is different. He's overflowing with empathy. He's imagining the things he did in the future and apologizing for them. That's the sort of kind-hearted person he is. This is the same man who had no choice but to throw himself deep into his time machine research, leaving my mom and I behind. If anything, that's why I'm most sad about. More than my never getting to meet him. He's the one who never got to see his own daughter. I can't imagine how that must have felt. I've never once resented you for what you did, Dad. There's no lie in that statement. That's why I don't want to see him look so sad.
But,
Hey, Dad, I have a favor to ask.
a favor? Sure, as long as it's within my power.
I want you to show me around Akihabara.
That's all?
Getting to walk around Akihabara with Dad, the place I loved so much. It might not seem all that crazy to him, but it's more than I could ever ask for. I'm sure he'd be saddened to hear that. Which is why I act like it's no big deal. Yeah, that's all I want.
I'd be more than happy to show you the ropes.
Dad finally smiles for me. You might have noticed me trying to hold back. But he smiles nonetheless. That's the kind of guy he is.
Phew, after all that work, I need to grab a quick shower and a change of clothes. I smell gross, lol.
You don't have to rush or anything. Sounds like you didn't sleep much.
Well, if I'm gonna get some shut-eye, I might as well head back to the lab.
Alright, then we can go out after you freshen up and take a break.
Then, I have a little proposal. Is your dad?
What's up?
How about taking a shower with your old man?
He has a deathly serious look on his face. Shower with you?
No go.
No, I don't mind. I haven't had a shower in a while either. I've been fine using the water in the park to keep clean. I'd be lying if I said the idea of a proper shower didn't sound appealing.
Oh dear. Hurry up.
You know what? I'm fine. I'll wait until after you take yours. I decided to let him go first since the lab shower isn't exactly big. Well, there's more than enough space for two girls to get in together. It's way too narrow for both me and Dad. I figured it'd be too difficult to wash off with the both of us in there, but Dad doesn't seem to feel that way.
Dad's naked and ready to go, though I guess the naked part is a given. Kind of reminds me of those family bathing ads you always see on Nakazuri. Can you believe they've got full nudity on them, SMH?
What's a Nakazuri?
You know, those hanging ads inside of trains?
Inside of trains? The explanation is little to clear my confusion. I ride my bike everywhere, so I don't know much about the insides of trains. I remember riding one with Mom when I was really little, but the details are hazy.
Anyway, hurry on in. You make your old man super happy if you wash his back off for him.
Alright, it might be a little cramped, though. Guess it'd be more rude not to join him. Begin to undress. Oh, what are you doing? Kurisu strolls into the lab just as I'm removing my top. He gives me a strange look the moment our eyes meet. I was thinking of taking a shower with Dad. Oh, a shower, gotcha. Should I have asked for permission first? No, you're a lab mem too, no worries. Wait, did you say with your dad? You're talking about Hashida, right? Yep, he got really sweaty while fixing the time machine, so... And how does that have anything to do with bathing together? I figured I'd wash his back for him. I get what you're thinking, but... Okay, look, the most important thing here is who invited who. I'll determine whether there's an actual crime or not. Dad did. Pervert confirmed! Damn it, Hashida taking advantage of such an innocent girl. Kurisu mutters to herself as she storms off towards the shower room. She seems really, really angry. Hashida, are you seriously that brain dead? Do you realize that Amane-san doesn't have the same kind of common sense that we have? How could you possibly think it's okay to invite her into the shower with you? You goddamn pervert, shame on you. Like hell I'll let her in there with you.
Makiseiki, what are you doing here?
Are you so angry about Kurisu? I'm angry because you don't know why I'm angry, Amane-san. If me not knowing is a problem, shouldn't you be yelling at me instead? Look, I'm angry because Hashida asked you to shower with him, knowing that you wouldn't know any better. What's wrong with showering together? Okay, sure, kids and their parents bathe together pretty often, I get it. That's only normal up until you graduate from elementary school, right? Common sense. How old are you right now? I'm 18. And at what age does a person normally graduate from elementary school? I don't know. I'm not trying to play dumb, I just have no answer. That's not part of the info I was given about 2010. It depends on the country and culture, but it's around 12 here. Really? I'll try to remember that. Yes, please do. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that at the age of 18, you should not be showering with him. And while he might be your father in the future, right now he's a 19-year-old beast. Don't even think about getting in there with him. He's a beast? Exactly, a total perv who's totally fine with anyone, be they 2D or 3D. Let me get this straight. You're saying that in this era, I shouldn't shower with Dad. Would this be off limits in the future too? You know, men and women around your age showering together and stuff? I'm a soldier, we don't have the luxury of differentiating between men and women. I see. And when I was little, I never got the chance to shower with my dad. I always wanted to try it at least once. Kurisu says that it's a custom for families up until middle school. I never graduated from, let alone went to, middle school. I've never taken a bath with my dad, and I doubt I ever will. Dad was never around. He died in 2036. That's... sure, I get it, but... Kurisu, I understand that I probably shouldn't get in there with him. But is it so unforgivable that I can't do it just this once? Unforgivable? I guess not, as long as you're both consenting adults about it. And can you turn the other cheek, just this once? Honey-san, I get it. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that wanting to spend time with your father is wrong. But no! My conscience would never allow me to let that perv shower with an 18-year-old girl. Never! No matter what? No matter what. Oh. Just do something else instead. I won't object to ask anything where Hashida can't get too carried away. I know I sound like a jerk. I'm just trying to give you advice as a friend. There's one thing I know for certain. It's that right now 19-year-old Hashida is a pervert. That's it. Okay. Seeing Kurisu argue so vehemently with bloodshot eyes makes even a soldier like me wince. I was planning on having Dad show me around Akihabara after this. You think that'll be okay? Zero problems. As long as you don't go any further than linking arms with him, he probably won't spiral out of control. Okay, got it. So linking arms is fine. No more than that. Say no matter what. Okay. I know Kurisu's saying this because she's worried about me. That's why I decided to obediently follow her advice.
So, kinda sorta can't get out of the shower right now. What's you being there and all, Max Tishy? I get the feeling if I tried, I'd be seeing red.
Oh, right.
Although, to be perfectly honest, just imagining what you do to me makes me kinda wanna risk my life.
Stay in the shower, you goddamn perv.
Well, I think that this is it's certainly a place to cut it. I don't know if that was a good place to cut it, but it's certainly a place to cut it. I'm interested to see where this goes. I wonder if this is going to be a more plot story, kind of like Kurisu's, or more of a character story, sort of. Actually, you've all been kind of both. Shit, I didn't even think about that. At least for Linear Bound and Phenogram, they've all been both plot and character driven. So that's interesting. But yeah, I'm really curious to see where this goes. I feel like some shit is gonna get lore dumped and some weird shit's gonna happen because they still haven't really talked about Beta and Omega and like what the fuck is up with them. But for now, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate, Linear Bounded Phenogram, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now!